All right, everybody. Tom Cormier here with I think it's the fifth edition of Tom's Guide. And this is the video that you guys have all been waiting for, the video on open box and the open box items, Amazon warehouse, and everything about it. And I'll explain it all. So I did wait till later in the night for this video because I knew that this account was going to hit 100,000 in sales for the last 31 days. And I wanted to make sure it was on video while I did it. And if I waited till the morning, it wouldn't be there. So as you can see, this is my account pre-Salefreaks, and about August 22nd is when I started Salefreaks, and I don't think I've had one day below 3,000 in sales since on one account. This is my one account. It hit 100,000. I have just fully integrated over my third account over to Salefreaks. I can't wait to start pushing that up to huge numbers, and I just can't be happier with Salefreaks at the moment. It is literally the best repricing software out there at the moment. I used to endorse other softwares, and I still endorse some other softwares for beginners, but for anybody that already knows how to work eBay and it would consider themselves like a lower intermediate, or advanced, I highly suggest Salefreaks. And for the first 3 months, they have the deal going on with the link below in the description for 50% off for the first 3 months. So you can't beat that. You really can't. And I'm going to explain an even better reason why you should get Salefreaks in this video, and that's open box items. So a ton of people have asked me to cover this, and I wanted to get to it. And if you haven't seen the other videos, you should go check those out before this video, because then you'll understand a little bit more, because I do reference other videos in this one. So without further ado, I'll go into open box items, what they are, and what Salefreaks does that really separates them from the pack from the rest of the other repricers. So first off, I don't think there's another repricer out there that does reprice open box items. And if they do, they don't advertise it, or they don't do it properly. So Salefreaks will take what is an open box item. There's 4 different categories of used items on Amazon. There's used like new, used very good, used good, and used acceptable. So we only sell on Salefreaks used like new items. And what you can do is list your used like new items, and they go on eBay as new other or new without tags. So what does that do? First off, the used like new items are way cheaper than just the new items in general, but they might only just have slight defects like a break in the box or something, or just something like that. There's no issue, or there's supposed to be no issue with the actual item itself. And from there, they're priced a lot lower than what the actual items are usually costing. So you can sell your item as new other, while somebody else is selling the item as new on eBay for way higher. So you can look way better and be way more competitive in price, and not very many people care as much if it's new or new other. It doesn't really matter. So that's where you're going to get a lot of your sales in, and I am going to admit that a lot of my items right off the beginning in these sales that I dropped right here were from open box, because I was so excited to get started doing it. So how do you do open box items on Salefreaks? First off, you have to have a 5,000 item plan. And that might sound daunting because it's $400 a month, but I can guarantee you, and I'm going to bring it up right here, that this is my first 30 days. It hasn't even hit 30 days yet. It is September 12th. I started on August 22nd. And this is my one account right here, mainly because I just moved the second account over recently. In 30 days, I have made $2,400 in front-end profit. This is front-end profit. This is before cash back. This is before anything else, and I've probably made that much money in cash back too. So the $400, don't complain about the $400 in the beginning that you have to spend, because you are going to be making a lot more in the end. You need to spend money to make money, and that's the way that I run my business. So I hope I got you guys hyped up a little bit about open box, but I do want to get you guys into the nitty gritty on how to set up open box. It's slightly confusing, but I mean, as long as I just lead you through it, you should be fine. So I'm going to bring us over to the next tab. And the next tab is basically just the regular old, open up the global settings for your regular account. So you're going to scroll down, and you're not going to change anything. I've already done a whole entire video on just global settings. So you want to make sure, though, that you do have what it says here, supporting open box condition enabled. So once you enable it, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it's going to say save there. You save it, and you should be good. So you should wait 1, 2, 3 minutes. And after you wait those minutes, then you should be able to go back into the global settings. When you go back into the global settings, there will be this drop-down box at the top. And whatever your store name is, it will say under that, it'll say store name OPBX. So there's going to be 2 different types of global settings. There's going to be your new items, and there's going to be your open box items. And from there, you're just going to change your open box items global settings. So it's going to have 2 separate global settings, which is basically just like 2 different profiles. one for new, one for open box. So I really don't change anything very much for open box besides the profit margins. So open box items are a little bit riskier to sell because, they could actually be damaged when they say they're not. So I like to run a higher profit margin just so I have I mitigate the risk a little bit. So I do run a 4 to 25% profit margin. And you can also run a higher profit margin because there's way less competition on these items. When I source items on Zik Analytics, I've seen items that have 250, 300, maybe 400 different competitors on it. On Salefreaks, usually with open box items, I see like 20 maximum, 22 I've seen. I haven't seen really much higher than that. And that's where your higher profits can come in because it hasn't been a race to the bottom yet. One thing I do want to take note, though, that I do want you to take note is you want to put your default quantity to 1 because you don't know how many of these open box items they have in stock. But you do know that if they have 1, then they at least have 1 listed, So if it goes out, if somebody buys it and there isn't another one, it'll just go out of stock. Wait till there's another one, it'll redo it. But if there's 2 and somebody buys 2 and there isn't actually 2 on the listing, then you could screw yourself. So I highly suggest always doing 1 and the default of 4 to 25. So other than that, I didn't really change any other settings, I don't think. And that's about it for here. I mean, this is my usual settings, what I have. I did change the shipping policy to make it a little bit longer, so it's not always 2-day Prime. Some of these items say Prime, but they take longer than 2 days. It's a little wishy-washy with these Amazon Prime items, so I did extend the shipping a little bit longer. So besides that, I mean, that's all I really have for the open box, and I do have the second half right here. I'll scroll through sales tax table, so there really isn't anything else. So that means you set up open box. So how do you list these open box items? So we'll get to that. We'll scroll up to the top. We'll go over to Listing Wizard. We'll go to the locator. And it's basically the same thing. If you guys haven't seen the locator video, I highly suggest you do watch it. It was the last one that I made, it was the third video that I made. And the one thing you do want to make sure is that you're going to do the locator, everything that I teach you beforehand. Put the locator name in there, Amazon warehouse, home and kitchen, whatever, $70 to $100. We'll find this for this video. The argument is just, the URL, but the condition, you always want to make sure that it's open box, and then it'll automatically switch to the open box account that you have right here, OPBX. So that's how you know it's good. But if you say new, and then you try to list these open box items as new, you're going to have a problem. So let's go over to Amazon, and how do you find open box items? So it's always going to be under, if you go to the category, it'll be under Amazon Warehouse. That is what open box items are. So Amazon Warehouse is just its own category of just used items. So what did we say it was in the last one? We said it was Amazon Warehouse, Home and Kitchen, 70 to 110. So if you click all 30 departments, you can go to Home and Kitchen. And when you go to Home and Kitchen, you can just scroll down, do 70 to 110. Click Go. You're going to want to make sure it's less than 10,000 like it is. So you would copy that name for the name of it, and then the argument is just going to be this URL. Keep clicking the wrong one. So you click that, you're good. You click Scan Now, and you should be good from there. I've already taught everything else on how the locator works. That's the third video I ever did. I don't know if we have the ability to post videos in the top in the cards that go across, but if we do, that's what we should do. So that's basically it about open box items. I can tell you right off the bat that this is the biggest reason why I love Salefreaks. Salefreaks is an extremely great program, but open box pushed me over the edge fully. I completely love open box items. I've been making a lot of money off of it, and you don't just have to list regular new items. Now you have these other items that have way less competition out there, and I mean, you're going to make a killing off of it. If you didn't see my first video on my first day of sales, they were all open box items, and I made 15% profit on them after cash back, and I think it was 11% before cash back. So that's just the numbers that you can pull. I'm not saying that I'm going to be pulling huge numbers like that the entire time, because I do like to keep a low profit margin and push a lot of volume, but you can work other strategies, try to push low volume, high profit margin. I mean, that's up to you. But I can say open box for $400 a month, 5,000 items is going to be 100% wholly worth it. And one trick that I have seen some people do is they don't always auto order their open box items, and they'll actually go through and hand pick them, because some of them will have used like new is what Salefreaks will automatically order, but they also have used very good, which will say something. They have little descriptions under them. It'll say original packaging or will come repackaged. Sometimes the used very good item is basically the same condition, but you know, $4 cheaper. So you make an even bigger profit margin off those. So that is something that you can play around with. I don't 100% highly suggest it unless you know what you're doing, but that is something that you really, really, really increase your profits with. So I hope you guys found this video, you know, informative. I hope I went over it in depth enough. I didn't really want to fully go into everything because I do have past videos on this and it could get redundant for the people that have already watched it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the open box videos. I inspired you a bit, hit 100,000 on my first account ever. And I'll see you guys in the next video where I am going to go over the whole auto ordering system and how to set it up properly. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you and have a good one.